Hey everyone, I'm back and this is my video series on grief in the workplace. Today I want to focus on the coworker who is grieving, not the boss or not the other coworkers that are there to support. I'm going to tell you a story about what happened with me, my first meeting that I attended after I came back to work when Frank died. I was very scared to go to this meeting, and in fact one of my very good friends and coworkers asked me if I was ready, and you know, if I didn't want to go and I wanted to sit out, that she'd go for me. But I really felt like I needed to push myself because I didn't know what I could or couldn't handle if I didn't try, right? So I went to the meeting. I asked her to go with me and she did. And before the meeting even started, I asked everyone to just give me a moment to let them know kind of where I was in my grief, because I know that people were kind of uncomfortable. They didn't know what to say to me, and this is again my first meeting back after I came back from my husband's death. So I just told everyone in the meeting, I said, look, I don't know when these triggers of emotions will happen. They happen and you don't have control over them. And I just want you guys to know that if I get up and walk out, it has nothing to do with any of you personally. It's just that sometimes things people say triggers panic attacks or anxieties in me. Escalated voices, just arguments or anything like that. And it wasn't that I was expecting that to come out of this meeting, but I was at a union meeting and we were talking about some very difficult, it was a very difficult discussion that we were going to be having. And so I just wanted them to know where my space was. Everyone was actually very grateful, and you could see the sigh of relief on all of their faces because now they knew where Dar was at. I was transparent about it. And in fact, everyone was very empathetic and compassionate and moved through the meeting with intention. Even though they were difficult conversations to have, everyone was very mindful of my space, and they didn't want me to walk out of the meeting. And so I was able to get through the entire meeting. I was very thankful to my coworkers for being supportive and holding space for me in that moment. But it took for me to tell them what exactly I needed from them. And so guys, if you are one of those employees that are going through grief still and have to go back to work, don't pretend where you're at. Don't pretend that you're strong and that you can handle it or that you're not grieving, because what that could result in is it could result in reduction in your productivity. It could result in lack of motivation. It could result in you making mistakes and your performance going down. And you don't want that to happen, right? And certainly your boss may not know if you don't tell them exactly where you're at. So I invite you to lean in, be courageous, be transparent, tell people how you feel. You'd be surprised at how empathetic and compassionate people will be when they know exactly what space you're in and how they could support you. So this is my video series on grief in the workplace, and I will talk to you guys again next week. Take care.